let's get right into it. If you're following the AI world at all, you've probably heard this phrase popping up, especially from big names like NVIDIA's CEO. The phrase is token consumption. Now, it sounds super technical, right? Maybe a little dry, but I'm telling you, it is one of the single most important things to understand if you want to get the business of AI today.
You hear lines just like this one, and it's always thrown out there as proof of this incredible, unstoppable growth. But what's actually being consumed? What is a token? And why is its growth such a big deal? This one little phrase is the key to so much, and we're going to unlock it.
So that's the big question, right? We are going to decode this piece of insider jargon and show you exactly why Wall Street, Silicon Valley, you name it, they are all obsessed with this one single metric.
Okay, so to crack this code, we have to start with the absolute basics, the building block of it all, the token. And honestly, it's way simpler than you probably think.
That's it. At its heart, that's all it is. A token is basically a piece of text. It could be a whole word or sometimes just part of a word. So token consumption is just the AI world's way of measuring how many of these little text pieces an AI has to process to understand what you're asking and then to generate its answer. It counts both sides of the conversation, your part and its part.
Let's make this really concrete. Imagine you go to a chatbot and you type, "Explain how to cook rendang chicken." Okay? The AI sees that as maybe, let's say, 10 tokens. Then it gets to work and generates a whole recipe for you, which might be around 200 tokens long. So for that one single back and forth, you've just consumed 210 tokens. And think about it. That little calculation is happening millions of times a second all over the world.
Okay, so we know what tokens are. They're pieces of text. But that doesn't really explain why the CEO of a chip company like NVIDIA is so fixated on them. Well, that's where this kind of hidden business logic comes into play.
This is probably the best analogy to lock this in your brain. Think of the AI model, like ChatGPT, as this super high-performance engine. The tokens, they're the fuel that makes that engine roar to life. And the GPUs, the chips, they're the massive power plants that generate all the electricity needed to burn that fuel. You see where this is going? The more fuel you burn, the more power you need from the power plant.
It's a really simple but incredibly powerful chain reaction. More people using AI means more and more tokens are getting processed every single second. Processing all those tokens requires a staggering amount of computation. And all that heavy lifting, all that computation happens on those specialized chips, the GPUs. So there's a direct, unbreakable line from token consumption straight to GPU demand.
But this isn't just about NVIDIA's bottom line. This whole idea, this logic, is the very foundation of the entire economic model for the AI industry. It's how all this AI thinking gets turned into cold, hard cash.
And here's the kicker. AI companies, especially for their more powerful models, don't just charge you a flat fee. They often charge you based on how much you use it. And how do they measure that usage? You guessed it, tokens. The more questions you ask, the more answers you get, the more tokens you consume, and the more you pay. Tokens have literally become the currency of AI computation.
So as you can see, when token consumption goes through the roof, everybody in the ecosystem wins. The AI companies that own the models, they make money. The big cloud providers like Amazon and Google who host everything, they make money. And of course, the company that builds the foundational hardware like NVIDIA, they definitely make money. It's that classic rising tide that lifts all the boats.
Now let's add one more layer to this because it's a really important distinction for understanding what's happening right now. You see, not all token consumption is the same. There are two totally different phases.
On one hand, you've got training. This is that gigantic upfront effort to build the model in the first place, where they feed it literally trillions of tokens from the internet. It's huge. But on the other hand, you have inference, and that's what you and I do every single time we use a chatbot. Now, training is a massive but kind of a one-time cost. Inference, though, is this constant, ongoing, and ever-growing demand that scales up with every new user. That's where the exponential growth is coming from today.
So let's put all the pieces together. When you hear a tech executive talk about token consumption going up, what are they really trying to tell the world? What's the strategic message they're sending?
But first, we have to clear up the #1 biggest point of confusion out there. With a name like token, you have to ask, is this related to crypto tokens? And the answer is a resounding absolutely not. No way.
Let's just be crystal clear on this. AI tokens have nothing to do with cryptocurrencies. They are not a financial asset. They aren't produced by a country. There's not a fixed supply of them. They are simply a unit of measurement for how much work an AI is doing. That's it. So here's your new mental translator.
From now on, whenever you hear a CEO say token consumption is increasing, I want you to just hear this instead. AI usage is exploding, and because of that, the demand for more raw computing power is accelerating. That's what they mean. It's the clearest signal of future growth they can give.
And if you need to boil it all down to a single, memorable sentence, this is the one. Token consumption equals how much thinking work in AI is doing. The more it thinks, the more tokens it consumes. Simple as that.
So there you have it. You can now hear past the jargon. This massive, insatiable demand for artificial thinking work is only just getting started, which of course raises the real question. As we start to build an entire economy that runs on these tokens, what does all this demand for AI thinking really mean for all of us?